What's up, everybody? Ghost Bros Gaming, Steven here. Have you ever seen those banner ads on TCGPlayer's website offering you this subscription service they have for $7 a month where you get free shipping, extra bonus bucks, etc.? Have you ever thought, is that actually worth it or not? Well, I signed up for the service and used it for the past 2 months, and I've done a bunch of math to help y'all understand whether or not that service could make sense for you. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's start off by taking a closer look at the benefits that TCGPlayer is listing that come with this subscription. So there's 3 primary benefits that they're listing here on the website, and we'll go into each in detail. The first is free shipping and tracking, so we know kind of what that is. Extra bonus bucks, this has a few stipulations on it that we'll talk about. And the third is access to this Channel Fireball Pro. As a Yu-Gi-Oh player, I have no idea what this is, so this is basically useless to me. If you're a Magic player and you happen to be watching our video, comment down below, let me know if this is useful at all to you. But basically, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be assuming that everyone who's watching is a Yu-Gi-Oh player, so we're pretty much going to focus on the free shipping and tracking and the extra bonus bucks. Let's dive into the extra bonus bucks. So if we look at the website, we see that you earn up to 3% store credit on all TCGPlayer orders $35 and up, including non-direct items. So that 3% sounds pretty good. However, the $35 and up stipulation is actually, in my opinion, pretty restrictive. After analyzing my buying patterns on TCGPlayer for about a month and a half, I found that I'm pretty spontaneous. I'll just go on and buy, some penny stocks, or buy $5 worth of cards. And so there really wasn't a ton of time that I was hitting that $35 and up threshold. Additionally, if you note down here, you'll see on day 1, you're actually only getting 1% of that cash back as opposed to the 3% listed here. It actually takes you an entire year to get up to the 3% cash back. Okay, so I'm gonna go through a graph. Just bear with me here. I'll explain how everything works, but basically how much money you would have to spend in order to make your $7 back in a given month just from the bonus bucks. Okay, so this graph is going to help you understand how much money you would have to spend on TCGPlayer's website in order to break even on that subscription just from bonus bucks. So this graph assumes that everyone spends all of their money in $35 and up increments. So if you recall from earlier, you must spend $35 on the order in order for it to qualify for bonus bucks. So this sort of assumes that. And so if we look at it, when you first sign up, you actually have to spend almost $700 just to break even because you're only getting 1% back. So you'd have to spend $700 all in $35 and up orders in order to just break even on your money. Obviously, these curves get a little bit better as your membership goes on. So after 3 months, you'd only have to spend roughly $350, and then after you've been subscribed for a year, you would only have to spend $225. However, I think it's worth noting that I assume most people's spending patterns don't always look like these perfect $35 and up orders. So I don't think there's actually a ton of value to be gained just from the bonus bucks. I think this is basically a nice to have. I actually think that the bigger benefit, the easier way to get your money back from the TCGPlayer subscription is in fact the free shipping. Let's get into the free shipping. Now, I think this one is a little bit harder to nail down in terms of how much money you'd have to spend to make your money back and make the subscription worth it, simply because it's highly dependent on your individual buying behavior. So anybody who's been on TCGPlayer for a decent amount of time knows that most sellers will offer free shipping if you order $5 or more of product from them. So a lot of times, even if you don't have the subscription, if most of your orders are over $5, then you would have gotten free shipping anyway. So what that means is it really depends on if you're ordering, a bunch of 20-cent cards that you'd be paying $1 shipping for, or if you're ordering, a bunch of expensive cards that you wouldn't pay shipping for. That can really change the equation in terms of how much money you'd actually save from the free shipping from the TCGPlayer subscription. So what I've done for the purpose of this video is I actually tracked my own order history for about a month and a half and wrote down every time I actually saved money, like I would have paid the dollar for shipping. And so I'm going to use my personal order pattern as the baseline for the analysis that we're going to do. However, that may not line up with your order history. So make sure that if you do decide to jump into doing this subscription, that you actually like sort of track your patterns over time and make sure you are in fact saving money. Okay, so as far as free shipping is concerned, again, I mentioned what I did was tracked my own order history and actually came up with a ratio for the amount of money that I would save on shipping per $1 spent on TCGPlayer's website. So given my specific order patterns on TCGPlayer, for every $1 I spent, I saved about 4.5 cents on shipping. So again, that's peanut butter spread across the entire buying history for about a month and a half. But it seemed pretty consistent that, I would save about 4.5 cents on shipping for every dollar spent. So with that in mind, on the x-axis here, we're looking at the amount of dollars you spend on TCGPlayer, and then we're plotting that out on the y-axis with the amount of money that you save from shipping. So I've added a lower and upper bound to this because, like I mentioned, everybody's order patterns are different. So if you are the type of person who's buying very expensive singles that wouldn't have to pay shipping anyway, you might not realize as much savings as somebody who just buys a bunch of 25-cent singles would. That said, you immediately notice that you actually end up saving a lot more in shipping than you get from the bonus bucks. So this was actually kind of surprising to me as I was going through my trial period with the TCGPlayer subscription, that I was actually saving a lot more money and making my money back much more quickly with the free shipping as opposed to the bonus bucks. So even on the lower end of the free shipping, like if you're not the ideal candidate to save money with free shipping, you still only have to spend roughly $225 to break even on shipping. And then obviously the splits get a lot better if you're the type of person who buys a bunch of singles and is paying a bunch of $1 shipping charges over and over again. You may only have to spend $125 or $150 to actually make that $7 a month worth it. Okay, so we've gone through whether or not the subscription could potentially be worth it from a free shipping perspective or from the 3% rewards perspective. There is a third way that honestly I think is one of the best ways to make your money back on this subscription, and that is the special subscriber events. So I'm sure a lot of folks notice every now and then going into like a Friday, they'll pop up and say, 8% bonus bucks for subscribers, things like that. On Black Friday, they actually had one that was 15% back on everything, including pre-orders. So this one was actually pretty sweet. I was able to order some Photon Hypernova boxes way ahead of time at a 15% discount. So I think if you're gonna spend the money anyway, signing up for the subscription, depending on how much money you're going to spend going into one of those weekends, actually could make a lot of sense, right? So if you activate the subscription for $7 and then cancel it the next month, you spend $100 at the subscriber event, you get 15% back in terms of bonus bucks. You've just made $8 just from signing up and canceling. Now, there's a couple of classic traps there, right? You could forget to turn off the subscription, so you got to make sure you do that. Also, you could overspend compared to what you would have spent normally. So that's, the classic consumer trap of, oh my God, the sale is so good, and then spending more money than you actually would have anyway. However, if you keep those two things in mind, I do think that keeping an eye on when those subscriber events happen and then potentially just signing up for that 1 month to take advantage of that could make sense depending on how much money you're planning on spending. All right, so let's go through just a quick summary of what we talked about, since we did go through a lot of detail just now. Basically, if you're just signing up to get the 3% rewards, you basically have to be like a mega whale, right? Like you have to be spending an absurd amount of money, $600-700, all in $35 and up orders to actually make it make sense just from the rewards perspective. The shipping actually looks a little bit better. So from a shipping perspective, depending again on your order profile, spending anywhere between $150 to $250 a month will pretty much guarantee that you'll get your money back in terms of free shipping. And then obviously, if you can take advantage of specific subscriber only like 10%, 15% bonus buck events, those you can make a ton of money back from as well. So it really depends on what you want to get out of the subscription, what your order profile looks like. But those are kind of the main ways that you can make your money back. Now that we've gone through whether or not the subscription could be worth it to you based on your spending profile, I just have a few more observations from my time using the service that I thought might be helpful. So one is that it doesn't always seem like everything that's a TCGPlayer direct fulfillment actually qualifies for the free shipping, even when you have the subscription. So like I would look at a card and see a direct seller and put that in my cart. But then when I would get to checkout, it would still be trying to charge me for shipping. This happened like only occasionally, but it was pretty annoying when it did, right? I'm paying for the service that says I get free shipping on all direct orders. I have a direct order in my cart and it's still trying to charge me for shipping. So I'm not sure what is going on behind the scenes there, but certainly TCGPlayer, please fix that. It's pretty annoying trying to build a cart, build a deck core, and save money on it. Another thing is the $35 order minimum for rewards. I really think that like it's hard to actually get that $35 order minimum a lot of the time, which is just kind of unfortunate because the rewards really aren't that much money to begin with. Like, let's say I spent $10. For me to get my 1% bonus bucks, that would literally be 10 cents. Like TCGPlayer, I understand there are economies of scale here, right? So, you know, it's more efficient for them to do larger orders, and so that they want to incentivize that, give out the rewards for that. However, it just seems crazy that like, okay, I spent $10, I can't get my 10-cent reward for my $7 a month subscription. So I think that would be one way they could really improve the service. One last thing is that it seems like the number of direct qualified orders is going down. This is something that Nick and I have kind of like talked about. We can't actually quantify this because we're not writing down every time we look at a given card and whether or not it's direct. But it does seem like over the past maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, the number of direct qualified products has actually declined quite significantly. Like I can't remember the last time I ordered a direct qualified product that qualified for free shipping that was actually price competitive with other options. So with that said, that's all we have for y'all today. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to comment down below if there's things I'm missing or if there's things that you find helpful to help you figure out whether or not you're getting enough value out of the subscription, as well as your thoughts on the subscription as a whole. I'd love to talk to everybody about their experiences as well. So thanks everybody for watching. Have a good day.